Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Gray, and we're just plain living here.
Good morning, John.
Me and Peggy B.
We showed up.
Me and Peggy B.
Is that a song that you were going to write?
You should
To
see me and Peggy B.
Da 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 da
Da
da.
da 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 da.
You got to write a song when you feel. Well, the
We're
song
too
coming
old for there to be three. Just me and Peggy B.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't it fun? Isn't life fun?
Yes, it is.
Life is extrememly
Yeah,
fun. I
and
wish everybody
interesting.
out here with all them hate mongers out there would figure out how much fun they could have if they just love one another.
And quit being mean.
Quit being mean. Quit being mean. But that ain't the way it works.
Maybe it will.
Maybe they will?
Maybe it will start to work.
I hope so.
Where people are kinder to each other.
I hope so. I hope so. Something's got to give before it breaks, you know. And we have a beautiful thing in this country, and I certainly would hate to see it break.
I would too.
Speaking about break, we have a group coming in here later on today, and their logo is beautifully broken.
Oh.
And it's a counseling service.
That's
and I
awesome.
think, yeah.
Is it new to Tullahoma?
Well, they're located in Manchester, and
Okay.
it's a surprise who it is, and I'm gonna wait and introduce them when they come
Wonderful.
in.
Wonderful.
Because I have a connection.
We need more places like that everywhere.
You know, a lot of times people just sort of don't know what to do, and it's not that they're not smart. It's not that they're less than anything. It's just sometimes situations in life just get a hold of you, and you need to be able to talk to somebody to help you work your way out of it.
I agree with that. And
You know, no matter how smart you are, no matter who you are, and it's not something to be embarrassed about. You know, people think, oh, well, mental illness is embarrassing. No, it's not. It's a sickness. It's a disease.
There's a little mental illness in all of us.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not
Look
just
at this
us.
one. Don't point at you because look at all the fingers pointing back at me.
There's many issues that need to be addressed.
Sure.
And it's wonderful that a group is coming in to support that.
You know what's happening this week?
I wish I did. I'm just kind of not thinking about
Fall break.
it. School's out.
School's out.
That's why I didn't have any traffic this morning.
No, you know, and of course, we didn't have that when we went to school. We went and stayed till the bitter end.
I think we did. I think it had something to do with hauling hay or in the
you know,
country.
maybe so.
I was at a country school.
I'll tell you what it was in Manchester was the county fair.
That was
You'd
always
be out
yeah.
for the county fair just like in Shelbyville.
No, it's a
they
fall
would be
break.
out for the horse show
Right.
where they could work the horse show.
And so we're just out over here for fall break.
Yeah, so now
And
that
it's
they
been
have year-round school.
It's been a really nice fall break for them, most of it. Today's
Yeah, well they
kind of
started
messy.
on Friday.
Right.
So it's this week.
But was a beautiful weekend as far as
Oh,
I
it was a beautiful
remember.
weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of them aren't here.
I
They
know.
leave. They go to the
They
beach.
gotta go to
They
the
go to
beach.
the beach and stuff like that on fall break.
That was,
so.
we couldn't wait to get to the beach.
And because it's fall break, that means we won't have a football game this
That's not a
Friday.
new thing. When I graduated from high school in 1955, and we headed to the beach.
Everybody
Every year,
headed to the beach.
And it wasn't all that crowded then. It was a little
No,
bit. It was a nice trip.
You know, you would go down there to Miami or Daytona, and there weren't any big hotels then. They didn't exist. It was little bungalow
smaller
type
bungalows,
things,
yeah.
you know.
But it
that
was
you-
fun.
Well, yeah, on the beach. They'd be little cabins on the beach, and you'd go to the office and rent you a little cabin. And I mean, I can remember going
And
down
hope you
there.
live to see daylight.
Huh?
And hope you live to see daylight. We had some good
So,
times.
you know, everything's, it's Halloween, and I've got need to go take some pictures, because let me tell you what, folks, I guarantee you right now, other than Christmas probably, Halloween is the biggest money generating
It really is.
holiday, if you want to call it a holiday.
People love Halloween.
The yards are packed with stuff. There's skeletons everywhere. They're 12, 20 feet tall skeletons. I don't know how people afford all that stuff, but they do.
Yeah, some people go kind of overboard, but that's, you know, that's their prerogative.
There
They
are
can do what
people
they
on
want
Avoca
to.
Road, right down from where I live, and if you want to enjoy something, go down there, and it's right at the split, and it's the first house on the right, and they have skeletons, and they start out the first day with one or two,
And then they
and
get-
by the end of the month, they're playing basketball. They set a basketball goal up out there. They have it's a tableau
Yeah.
of skeleton
Just
nonsense.
baskets.
Every week it changes.
I love that. That's
And you
cool.
know, it's just wonderful what they do.
Yeah, there's a place on our road, a back road, I think it's 31, that goes to Winchester, the back way, where there's lots and lots of stuff to do for
Granddaddy's
Halloween.
Farm, isn't that out there?
I don't know. I don't think it's Granddaddy's farm. I think it's just somebody's house that they have just gone
Well, there's a
overboard.
place out there somewhere where you can go and ride through, and they've got lights and they've got music broadcast, and you can put it on your radio,
Yeah, that sounds like this place.
and it's just incredible. They'll tell them how many thousands of lights they have. They do it for Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving. I think they do it for Halloween, and they do it for
Christmas, probably
for Christmas
Christmas.
as well. Downtown, there's a store where Clyde Phillips used to be, called Haunted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they have Halloween stuff and that type of stuff all year long.
So you can go in there and buy
You
stuff.
can go in there, and it's not just Halloween stuff, but it's witchy stuff and
Yeah.
jewelry and things
You
like
ought to have somebody that can read your palm and all that stuff.
I think they do, yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
You ever had your
it's
palm
wonderful.
read? Have you ever had your palm read?
My palm read,
That was- you
not
were.
unless I had eaten too many strawberries.
Oh, okay. All right.
It'd been read from work. You know, sometimes your palms
Yeah.
get flushed.
I'm talking about a psychic
No,
reading
no.
your hand.
Something about I got three. I don't know
way-
how
the
many
way you're-
lines I've
yeah.
got, but I don't know. It'll be what it'll be, and whatever some palm reader says doesn't have anything to do with it.
Exactly.
Not a thing in the world to do with it.
They can say anything they want
Oh,
to.
one thing I want to do. You're going to love this. You know about it already, and I was hoping that you wouldn't.
Oh, okay. I'm
But
sorry. I know things.
went by the building codes last week, and on the way back past there, I thought, well, I'm going to ride up and see if the road's closed to Lynchburg.
Yeah.
And so that's the libraries there and senior center, and well, right past the baseball fields, two of my wonderful friends and yours, Mike and Cindy Sneed, live right there. So I thought I'd drive by and see if they were there.
I call it Sneedville.
Yeah, but no cars were there. So yesterday I was back at Codes, and I drove by, and of course Mike's hair is shaved, his head shaved, and so I looked, and there they were sitting on the front porch. And so I just barely pulled in their driveway and rolled my window down and hollered, "Get your hair cut, you hippie." And of course they're going, "Who is that? Who is that?" And I got out of the car, and Cindy said, "Oh, come here, come here, come here." And so I went over there and show the picture, C-Day. There was a hummingbird that had hit their window, and they had picked it up, and it was knocked out.
Yeah, it would.
And so
Because you don't just pick up a hummingbird.
Cindy, there it is right there, and it just laid there, and Mike went and got that little syringe and put sugar water in it. And when I got there, that little hummingbird was sticking its beak in there, and see that red spot right there on the breast in the white.
I think
Down
so.
below the beak, there's a spot. And Cindy said, well, that's one of my bedazzled jewels. The little ones that must have been fallen into the flower bed,
Yeah.
stuck on its hair, and so feathers. And so she looked it up and said, no, that's a red-throated hummingbird,
Oh.
and that's a male. And you can see toward the top, where right below his beak, where it's starting to turn red. And before long, that hole where you see white, light-colored feathers will be
become
red.
red.
And that red spot in the middle is where it's starting to turn red.
That's very unusual, even to be able to hold a hummingbird at all. That's amazing.
And Cindy was petting his head, or her, and it started sucking that sugar water and got stronger. And then as I got up to leave, it flew away.
It might come back
One
to
of God's
visit.
creatures.
Yeah, that's right.
Sitting there with two of God's creatures.
Well, that one hit the window at the right house.
Yes, sir.
It sure did. That was sweet.
They fine people, and we love them dearly. And the road is open. It's supposed to be closed during spring break, but for some reason, some contractor had a problem.
Is that the road between
Lynchburg
and us?
Yeah, they're working on the cemetery side,
So they want to close it.
expanding that road, so they've got to block off where you come in from Jackson
Yeah.
on the cemetery side. So both lanes will be open, but not in a normal way.
Right.
So, but
It'll slow you
the
down a little
contractor
bit.
had
I
a
think
problem, so they couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any difference.
Lots of things happening
Yeah.
in Tullahoma. I mean, these big hotels coming in that will,
Yes, ma'am.
you can bring your clothes and stay a week or two and
Oh, yes.
wash your clothes and cook your dinner right there in your
In
hotel
your room,
room. Isn't that
certainly.
great? I think that's wonderful.
Yes, and there's
In fact,
housing projects
when I get tired of
going
cleaning
up.
house, I'm gonna go down there and check in.
Well, our left to right group, First Christian Church, on Tuesday night, 6 o'clock, 6 to 7.
How many people do you have show up there?
Depends on the week. Sometimes there's 8 or 10. Sometimes there's 4.
I think
5.
it's a wonderful thing to do.
So
Creative.
what we do is there's a box and you draw a piece of paper out, a little piece of paper, like you'd get in a fortune cookie,
Right.
and it's got a prompt on it.
And you're
Write a
supposed to
poem
write.
doing this. Write a
what was
poem
your
doing
prompt?
that. Well, my prompt was, all of us used the same prompt this week. Write a poem using the words stack, barn, bicycle, skyscraper, and climb.
Okay.
And so
I'm gonna
you never
get
know how
online
this is
and
going
find-
to work.
Yeah.
So, but it's fun for me. The blanket woven that covers every life always starts with the very first yarn. It all started for me on a Middle Tennessee farm, stacking hay in a Sea Rock City roofed barn. I got a penny a bale up in the loft and a fried chicken lunch out by the doctor's pool. It was a decent pay for back in the day, but I wanted to trade that heat and find me some cool. There was an old bicycle in a corner stall, so I asked the doctor what it would cost. He gave me a steal, so we cut a deal for my penny a day, penny a bale, till it got paid off. I pedaled until I got to Nashville and worked my way through school. I kept my eye on that big scraper in the sky, knowing that's where I'd find the ultimate cool. I climbed to the top, but I didn't stop, and every day I would go up on the roof, walk about and look down south, knowing that's where I'd find success's proof. Now I own that barn and farm. Hey, Nashville, so long. If you see someone looking for me, tell them I've gone home.
That's very nice.
So,
And do you all, at the next meeting, read what you wrote?
yeah,
So you get your prompt and then prepare
yeah,
for the
and
next
then
meeting?
people bring other stuff, and people bring poetry books, and we discuss Stan Williams is the facilitator, and he taught English and poetry at Motlow for years.
Very good.
And that is Ruth Collins' son-in-law.
And Ruth Collins wrote some fabulous poetry.
Oh, yeah.
She, I have a lot of her pieces, and I have a lot of yours, and I appreciate them.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. This is for the times we're in. Hell, I worked all my life 2 or 3 jobs at a time. I want the best for my family and me, but I always seem behind. I hate the phone and the U.S. mail, all they bring is pain. My work is gone, my credit sucks, and they won't let me explain. I need some good news bad. I need a break. I need some good news bad. I don't know how much more I can take. Loyalty for working guys like me, well, it died with my dad. Lord, if I'm going to make it, I need some good news bad. What do you do when it's not about you, but the times you're going through? The big boss man's vacationing again, but he left a pink slip for you. This country's built on in God we trust, but we've trusted a bunch of jerks. Send them back home where they belong and put me back to work. I need some good news bad. I just need a break. I need some good news bad. I don't know how much more I can take. Loyalty for guys like me. Well, it died with my dad. Lord, if I'm going to make it, I need some good news bad. All I want is a hard day's work and the respect you gave my dad. Come on, USA, find a way. We need some good news bad.
I think you got a song there.
It sings pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that one sings pretty good.
All right, when you write something like that, which is more poetic,
Right.
basically, once you start writing, are you able to finish it, or do you do it in several sittings?
It depends on what it is, and it depends on how it flows. That one I probably did that in one sitting.
But I like it. That was good.
Now I have things that are those little nuggets that say that is one of the greatest lines I've ever heard.
And then you got to work around it.
And I've got one that I've been working on for over a year now, and I just can't get it to where I think it's good enough.
Good.
You know, I mean, it's like I say that the okay word is to the perfect word like a tiger lily is to a tiger.
That's a good line right there.
You know, I mean,
Yeah. You got to find the right word.
Matter of fact, I went to the bookshelf to Dot Watson, Fran's aunt, because my dictionary was just not sufficient. And got me, and I use a dictionary a lot because I'm looking for the word. I'm looking for a
Right.
word,
A word
that
represents
I don't
what you
know.
want to
Maybe
say.
I don't even know the word.
Yeah,
But I know what the definition of another word that's an okay word is.
right.
So I'm looking for
You're
something
looking for that
stronger
word that
than
will
that.
stick out and
So a lot of writers. I mean, well, there's a whole lot of people a whole lot smarter than I am that write and don't need that. But for somebody like me, you need that. You need that dictionary to help you find those words.
I
that
would think a lot of
suit the
writers,
bill,
a lot
fit
of
the
writers
bill.
would need that.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of writing? Do you actually write stories that might lead into a book?
Oh, I've got halfway there. That one poem, I've got them halfway there. I'm halfway through with this, halfway through with that. And if you tell me why I'm doing that, well, at least I'm doing something. I'm halfway somewhere. How about you? You know. So, oh yeah, I've got probably 4 or 5 books that are halfway done.
I was thinking that do you actually write a book about something that stays on, that goes all the way through? Like, you know, write a book like Gone with the Wind or something like that. Do you ever think
You know
about
how long it took Tolkien to write Lord of the Rings? 30-something years.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You know, because he put it aside.
He just couldn't finish
He
it.
couldn't finish it. Well, I mean, look at what it is. I mean, and C.S. Lewis and those guys like that. You know, the huge volume of things they did. Now, some of that stuff just flows. You see some of these authors that write these books that everybody's reading, these cop books and action books and everything. they crank those things out,
Right.
you know, 1 or 2 a year. How in the world, you talk about bright, brilliant people, they've got to be.
I would say.
Yeah. So, speaking about bright and brilliant people, we have a whole lot of them coming on this show today. Starting off with Peggy Burton. She's one of the brightest people I've ever been around, and I love her dearly, and I thank her for everything she's done for this little village we live in. And thank you for
Thank
what
you,
you
John.
do. And what you can do is spend your money locally. Watch these commercials and thank our sponsors for being here to help us be in front of you and bring this information to you. We'll be back after a few commercials.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
All right, we were talking about help. We all need help from time to time, whether you think you do or you don't. We all need help from time to time, and every now and then, particularly when you break something. I know when I was young and strong and could do a lot of things, I'd break something, I'd fix it. Can't do that anymore, so guess what I have to do? I have to go out and find me some help to fix a few things. Sometimes your body needs it, but sometimes your mind needs it as well. And when something's broken, you don't know where to go. Well, now you do know where to go. I'm going to introduce you to the family of Beautifully Broken right here. Reverend Cindy Gray, and this lovely young lady right here is?
Stephanie Hubbard.
And that's the rooster right over there, Jacob Gray right there.
Jacob Gray, that's right.
And that is, this Beautifully Broken is it a franchise operation type in thing?
Yes.
And you, Cindy, was working with the lady in the Baptist church in Manchester, and she decided to retire, right?
No.
Or she's moving somewhere.
So in 2010, Dr. Kathy and Dr. Todd Kirkland began Beautifully Broken Counseling in Murfreesboro. And so that's been 15 years.
Okay.
And then they opened a franchise in 2021 in Manchester, and I began working shortly after that with them. And then in August, Jacob and I took over the ownership of that, and it's a franchise. And now they've opened a franchise in Pace, Florida.
Okay.
So they're still working.
So yeah, they're still working, but they went to it. They went to the sun
Yes.
and the beach,
Yes.
and left this opening in Manchester. So you and Jacob decided to purchase that, and that's what you're working on right now. Is you're changing locations. It was it was involved where in a Baptist church over there.
We were located in Grace Baptist Church
Right.
in Manchester, and now we're moving to 905 Hillsborough,
Right.
which is right by Hardee's. So you can go counseling and go to Hardee's and go to Jiffy Burger and
Yeah, you
got it all
can
covered.
eat. You can eat while you're broken.
That's right.
Which might make
Maybe
you more broken.
sometimes- Maybe sometimes that might be a problem, eating while you're broken. You might eat too
That's
much,
right.
you know. So this is a Christian-based operation. How about telling us a little bit, Cindy, what exactly the type of folks that come in and the things that you're able to help them solve the problem? Because it's problem solving. It's problem solving in the heart and in the mind, and that takes special care. So
Takes
the
a lot
floor-
of
the floor is
attention.
yours.
Yes. So Beautifully Broken, we have individual counseling, we have couple counseling, children, teens, families, senior adults. So it's really the whole gamut, all the way from ages 3, which she is amazing with the kids, all the way from 3 till death. And we do trauma, grief, addiction, abuse, PTSD, and we teach all kinds of coping mechanisms and emotional regulation. And basically we're just walking alongside people, and our ultimate goal is to make us not have a job by helping people heal through
Sure.
Christ-centered techniques, and just walking alongside with them and helping them to find their unique God-given identity and purpose in life. You know, when you know what your purpose is in life, you can authentically live in that. And that helps with the healing.
And of course, Cindy is she's serving 2 churches at this point right now, and graduated and got your
Seminary, yes.
And I can't remember. That was when it hadn't been that long.
It was in May.
In May.
Graduated from Emory with a Master's of Divinity.
Yeah.
Yes.
So she took a turn, and you took a turn in your life. What, 10 years ago, probably?
Yeah, I started turning before then, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
officially.
Officially about
Yes.
10 years
Yes.
ago that you decided you want to follow the ministry, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's done a wonderful job putting you in the situation of ownership here gives you an opportunity to do that in a more like it's not in a business sense, it's in a care sense, but it gives you a building. I think it's a good thing that you're going to have a building of your own.
Absolutely.
A location
Absolutely.
of your own.
Because we're not one particular denomination.
No.
So it opens us up so that people don't think we're just Baptist because we were at the Baptist church.
Right.
We are faith-based, but not denominationally based.
There you go. There you go.
Yes.
And 3-year-olds?
Yes. yes.
Well, we had a cousin of friends have a birthday party for a 2-year-old, and the mother is Jack Smart, who is a doctor.
Who's a doctor,
well,
yeah.
there was a lady there who works with Cliff Seiler, and she's a pediatric doctor, nurse, whatever. And I was telling her about this, and she was in Manchester. She was absolutely excited. She said, "You have no idea how many parents of young children and children themselves at a young age need that kind of help to get through some of the things that they really don't know that are going to happen when they happen with having children, and the pressures that there are and stuff like that." So that's your specialty.
Yes, I love it. When I'm not working with Beautifully Broken Counseling, I'm a school counselor for pre-K through 5th grade, and I really enjoy it. I originally didn't want to be with little kids. In grad school, I was always told by my professors, like, you should really do middle school. And I was like, okay. And then a job opened up at one of the elementary schools here in Coffee County, and I applied for it, and I got it. and I actually fell in love with the age. And I've noticed, like, exploring with like different ages, the younger I go, I didn't realize, you know, kids have trauma too. And, you know, whether it's from things, you know, that we didn't experience as kids, you know, like now we have like TikTok, which that's interesting, you know, with kids, because kids are exposed to that now. We have Facebook, we have Instagram, and they're telling these kids they need to be something or look a certain way. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter about that. It matters what Jesus Christ, you know, did for us on the cross. And it matters, you know, how we're living our life for Christ. Because at the end of the day, all those little things don't matter. Anxiety is another thing that we see a lot with. Kids have a lot of separation anxiety, you know, whether it's dropping off at school or, you know, coming to counseling. Kids have a lot of more trauma now, and they're exposed to that. And that's where I kind of, you know, step in and kind of help them work with different things, you know. Divorce, that's another thing we see a lot of. And even, you know, just positive self-talk. With social media out there, kids are experiencing a lot of, you know, negative thoughts. And I come in there, you know, and my goal is, you know, I pray over those kids and hope that they know that, you know, at the end of the day, Jesus loves them. And more importantly, you know, they are beautifully and they are wonderfully made. And we're all broken. We all have something, you know, that we're going through. And I try to, you know, reiterate that with my kids and tell them that. And we do like some fun curriculums and go over some different things, coping skills. And we just pray over those babies, because at the end of the day, you know, we are wonderfully made and we're all broken. And that's why I like the message, you know, of beautifully broken.
You know, and you were talking about junior high. I think if I had to teach school and I was teaching junior high, I'd go to prison.
That's my favorite. I love that age. Yes.
Because they're just so knowing everything. You know?
They're great though.
But they're not.
Great.
They just want to be heard,
Right,
just like anybody else.
Understand. But
So you don't need to do that.
no. But I read to the second grade in East Lincoln School, where I went to school.
Yeah.
And it's a tough side of town. And these kids at that age are like little sponges, and they want information so bad, but they don't know what information to believe. And some of them won't even talk, but by the end of the year, and I told them one thing. I said, don't ever give up on your dreams. No matter your mama, your daddy, a preacher, a teacher, an uncle, an aunt, or particularly nobody with a dollar bill in their hand. Don't sell out on your dreams, because you can be anything you want to in this country. If you work hard and stick to it, you can do it. Just like what y'all are doing right now. Mm-hmm. You worked hard, you put yourself in a place to do something that's beneficial to a whole lot of people, and nothing can be done any greater than that. That's the greatest gift you can give, is back. Mm-hmm. And what you're doing is wonderful. And that one over there now, of course, he's my one and only child, and I'm very, 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 I could never tell you how proud I am of him and what he's done and what he's accomplished, and I have great thanks for Cindy for coming into his life and helping him be the man that he is now. And you know, we all need help. And if you think you don't, hey, I'm married to one for 50 years, and if it wasn't for her, I'd probably be dead or in jail, one of the two. You know, maybe not, but I couldn't have made it through without her. And what y'all are doing is giving people an opportunity to live a full life and brush that crap off and do without it. And don't care about what Uncle Bob says, or Josephine down there at the big shoe store, or the mink factory, or whatever, because you don't care, you know, just be good. So, anything else? What are we doing now? You're working on your building, working on the building. Come on, Jacob, working on a building.
That's a different show.
Different show. All right. But Jacob's in charge of the construction and getting that building ready for the office to move in there, and it's exciting. It's wonderful. And I'm so pleased and so happy for you. And how do people get in touch with you?
You can go to beautifulybrokencounseling.com and you can go under Manchester and look at an intake form. You can fill that out and we will call you, or you can call me at 931-434-0046, or you can email me at cindygray@bbcmanchester.com.
Or you can,
you can
get in touch with me.
1-800-CINDY.
Or Fran.
1-800-CINDY, yeah. Don't try that.
And we'll get you, I guarantee you we'll get you in touch with them. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For being who you are, doing what you do, and taking the time to share it with the world, because it'll make it a better place.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right, anytime. We'll be back after these messages.
This place, where you grew up, where your memories were made, and where your dreams were born, where your neighbors stop to say hello, and where you're always welcome to stay a while, where your Fridays are spent under the lights, and where Saturdays are made for the water, where you can feel good about a hard day's work and take pride in a job well done, where small business makes a big impact, and home is always a sight for sore eyes. And where the best things in life, well, the best things in life are the little things. Tullahoma Utilities Authority, power in community.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
For many senior citizens, life looks like this, but it doesn't have to. When you make your home at Parkview Senior Living, life after retirement takes on a whole new meaning. Daily exercise options, fun outings, happy hour, game nights, movies and popcorn, arts and crafts, enjoying friends over chef-prepared meals. Parkview Senior Living, where you're always home, but you're never home alone.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats!
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Trees. Part of it was.
All right, folks, we're back, and we are going to have a discussion with what I'm calling right now just the tree guy, and that's Monty with TUA. And Monty, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
What is your? How do you get involved with the trees?
Okay. Well. At TUA, I'm the utility forester and utility man, which means I can do a lot of different things, which is fine. But it's in support of the reliability of power and internet and all those services. And so I'm really just kind of support for, a lot of the people that are out in the field and providing those critical services. Well,
I noticed we live out on Avoca Road, and I noticed recently the trucks came down through there and cleaning out around the power lines. Mm-hmm. And some trees got cut, some trees were
right.
And so do you go and look at that stuff before
I do.
You're the guy who goes and says, "No, wait a minute. We need to try to save this tree here.
Right.
Don't do this and this and this.
Right.
Just cut this off, and we can save this tree."
Right. Well, and so we have some mandated clearances, and so part of what I do is we have about 250 miles of overhead lines, and so I get through about a third of that every year. Literally out in the field looking at the trees, the vegetation that's there, and trying to make some assessment. Sometimes you can do something that makes the tree, retains its strength, its structure and stuff, and doesn't become a liability. Sometimes you can't. And then also the property owner, if we try to work with them as best we can. That's why you get sometimes some strange looking trees, because they've wanted it this way, and we're like, all right, well, yeah, that's it. And so, but yeah, we do some. It's a selective pruning removal sort of thing, and it's ongoing. The numbers when I first started back in 2012, full time with TUA, we were doing a lot more units and taking more stuff out, but as things have gone, we've gone through these cycles, they've leveled off quite a bit. And so a lot of the trees that are out there literally are blown in just from sometimes where the land around that tree has changed, either it's being developed. Just the age of the tree or something, and so it's constant. I mean, it's just, you have to just be aware of it, and it's just what I do.
Well, and that's the exact reason why you're a liaison to the tree board.
That's true.
Because the tree board is to try to keep our tree cap canopy as good as we can, in the middle of a whole lot of development going on. And just like one thing that I'm sure you have to know about is when they were running that big sewer line down Avoca, some of those trees on the side of the road, big trees, well, they're digging a 6-8 foot deep ditch down through there, running a line this big.
Right.
How much of the root system of a tree can you damage
without
not lose that tree.
Well, and again, it depends on the age of the tree, the type of tree that it is, and really kind of how it was health-wise even before you sort of, where you and I could get up and at least if we're uncomfortable with something, we can get up and move.
Right.
The tree's there. It's pretty much stuck. And so that's right. They're they're there for the duration. And so sometimes the techniques that are being used, there are better techniques. I was called out on one tree to look at it. I have. My employer is one thing. I know things that you have to be able to do. Sometimes it's never an ideal situation. And so that's always the balance. But I've been supported at TUA. My direct supervisors, the guys that are out in the field. I mean, they've been good to at least hear me out. When there's options, and I'm fortunate in that. Very much so. So they've been supportive of the program, and I'm, like I said, I'm lucky to be able to come back to Tullahoma and kind of do that.
And where were you before you came back, Mark?
Well, I worked for a few years. I was in a design build landscape operation. Went up to the University of the South for like 21 years. Then came back, kind of changed some career path for a while, and then just by happen chance, they started doing contract utility line, arboriculture care. So,
there you are.
There I am. And having grown up in Tullahoma, I always told somebody, I said, well, you always felt like you came home once you hit Jackson Street and you had all those canopy of all those willow oaks over the top. You just, there was something about that it's hard to describe, and yet a lot of people wouldn't even remember it, but I did. And it was like you came over the viaduct, and once you took that right to go down Jackson, you just were, you were home.
And you live out, if you live out, go down Country Club Drive or before that whole area was what it was, there was a house there, Dr. King's house, Royal Oaks.
Yes.
And that house, that yard still has Royal Oaks in it, and because they are absolutely huge.
They are.
And a lot of them are gone.
Yeah, they've lost
them.
them.
Are gone because they just died. I mean, it wasn't because of miscarry or anything like that.
Right.
Those big trees, we need to try to save them what we can. One thing that bothers me sometimes is in our codes department, and you're on the tree board.
I'm on the tree board. Yes, sir.
The city comes in sometimes and seems to be that they don't have to operate by the same codes that the rest of us do. And I'm upset about Avoca Road and Riley Creek. They just went in there and clear cut all of that beautiful timber, never said anything, talked to Ralph Graham about it, never said anything to the tree board.
Right.
Now, if I owned that property, of course, the guy that owned the property sold it to the city. But if he hadn't he would not have been allowed to do what the city did on that piece of property.
Right, yeah, and I don't know exactly all the things with what that project was or the impetus for doing it. It remained a mystery, and it really didn't involve, at least it didn't involve me. No one was asking.
Sure.
But it was like, I'm not sure what that was, but you make a good point about large and mature trees. They're finite in how long they're going to live. I mean, it's generational. I mean, it's like, but that being said, they need the space. They need, that sort of, they command that and the benefits of having those big trees.
Sure.
If
I lived in one of those houses, I'd be really upset because every car, and I live on Autumn Lane out of Avoca Road, and I know how many vehicles travel those two roads. Yes. And no matter whether you're going to Avoca or Riley Creek, your lights are shining right in 4 houses right there.
As soon as you make that break,
in their dens.
Yes.
And I would be extremely upset about that if I did.
They lost a lot of sort of privacy and what I would call just a borrowed view.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing is one of the programs that TUA is involved with is our energy saving tree program.
Sure.
And it's active now. And what that does is it promotes planting of a tree for energy efficiency.
For shade on
For
your house.
shade, for windbreak. It could be a visual break.
Sure.
Maybe not energy, but at least you're, reflecting some light from from that.
Sure.
I mean, so well-placed plants, have a purpose.
Certainly.
And I think our
certainly.
forefathers knew that and were much more attuned to that than maybe we are. I think we forget that we share so many things.
With other animals on this,
yes, we
on
do.
this planet.
And so I think sometimes, that's the thing, and that's the balance of, groups like the tree board and codes and stuff, I think, to put their heads together,
Yeah.
I think, and come up with ways to do it, and then come up with what I would call a model site and doing that. And I think it's continuity of people.
Yes.
You mentioned Ralph, great champion, great, a lot of energy, passionate.
Knowledge.
You know what? As long as you keep changing the oil, you're all good, right? But I mean, and Steve Worsham. I mean, again, just a great, advocate for that. I mean, the people that are on the tree board, we could use some people that are younger. And when I say younger than me, but. The bottom line is you're doing something for your grandkids.
Sure.
Your great-grandkids. And, trees and taking them down just willy-nilly, can you work with them? Can you do some stuff? When I worked up in Swanee, one of the things that, the big trees, the stone buildings, when I finally got to a point where I was being involved on the front end of projects to be able to preserve trees that typically were damaged during construction, if not, and would be, a decade out, would die. We were able to make dorms basically looked like they'd been there for 100 years, only because, we worked to preserve some mature trees and worked with how to get into the buildings, and the building siding was pretty much set.
Yeah.
But all the other stuff, where you're going to put the parking lot, how you're going to get the sidewalks in, where you're going to bring the utilities in, all those things sometimes can be worked around and made better, and you can still have
Might
some
not
trees.
be the easiest thing to do.
That's
but
right,
guess
but
what?
and in the
it's
long
the
run,
best thing to do.
it is. It gives you a sense of place.
Yeah.
And I think, people appreciate trees.
Yes, they do.
But we all need to kind of make a little history and plant one every once in a while.
There you go. Monty Hawkins, I'll tell you what, this guy, you want to tell you how he lives what he's talking about? Every now and then, if you catch him on the right day, he'll be down in the front yard at the utilities board with a bag and a little shovel and a rake, probably picking trash out of the planting.
I'm trying to leave that to someone that's a little younger than me now. But
I've seen you out there doing it.
I have.
Inspecting your own business.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Thank you, Monty.
All right.
For what you do. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
and know that,
thank you.
anytime that you feel like there's something you need to discuss, know that this venue is open for you.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You need something to say and what y'all are doing.
Sure.
Feel free. Feel free to get in touch and come on, because we can always get you on this set right here. Okay.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Well, and we were reminded about the Energy Saving Tree Program. I don't know if she's going to put that back up. But that being said, this is a program. We're the only utility in the state of Tennessee that has partnered with the National Arbor Day Foundation for this program. We are in our 9th year. It started in 2017. November of 2016, we had a tornado.
Right.
And lost a lot of trees. And so trying to be the utility and do energy efficiency and replant some canopy, we began this program. We give away 100 trees to the first 100 electric customers that reserve a tree. It's an on-site pickup. They're in a 5-gallon container. There hasn't been a vehicle yet. I hadn't been able to put that tree in.
Right.
So,
what kind of trees are
they? This year we're offering a black Tupelo or black gum, Nyssa. We're doing Allegheny serviceberry, which think of an understory tree, somewhere like, a dogwood type multi-stem. We've got a swamp white oak, which is a white oak that transplants well, has great looking foliage, it's a neat looking tree. We've offered that one before, and we've also got a sweet bay magnolia, which is a semi-evergreen, multi-stemmed tree. And all of these trees are also good pollinators, and so a lot of talk about pollination and bees health. And
we got to protect our bees.
Yes, we do.
When they're gone, we're gone.
We are, and I know I've met a couple of people that are into bees, and it's amazing to me that they actually have people that contract out beehives.
Yes.
They bring them in, let the bees do their work, and then
bring them out.
I'm like, that just seems so bizarre. But
Monty Hawkins, thanks, buddy. And again,
all right.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We expect you back, okay?
All right, anytime.
All right, we'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
HostMy provides modern phone systems with mobile integration, HIPAA-ready business texting, and digital faxing solutions. More importantly, we offer dedicated U.S.-based support, transparent billing, and unparalleled reliability. Call 931-581-4411 today and partner with the best.
Hi, my name is Ringo, here at Barkview Senior Living. They're human-friendly. That's why I love it here, and so does my senior human. When they want a bite, they get chef-prepared meals, and so do I. Movies in the theater, day trips, walks on the trail, and other senior humans to play with. The grass and the grounds are exquisite. It's everything my human needs to be healthy and active. Barkview. Parkview Senior Living, for your dog's best friend, you.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes. Look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you got to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch. And John, we're here today with segment 63 that'll set us free.
Oh my.
The conversation with John and Pat.
We're going to sing sort of a little sad song. It's one about the Murray County jail fire. And the reason I wrote the song was because I knew one person in particular that died in that jail fire.
John, before you hit it, what year was that?
76.
Okay.
77, well, I think it's 77, 1977.
That'll give a little history to it. Yeah.
Church had just turned out in Columbia, Tennessee. Just your usual sleepy summer day in June. Family and close friends started slowly pouring in to the jailhouse on that tragic afternoon. A young wild-eyed kid, a runaway, had been jailed the day before. Like a brewing storm, he lay there behind his jail cell door. He took a lighted match to a jail bunk as if Satan had it planned. The cries and screams quickly arose as the jailhouse fire began. 42 died that day in the Murray County jail fire. 33 inmates died that tragic day. Little did the prisoners know that before the day was over, death was a price they all would pay. The jailer took his ring of keys and down the hall he ran. But the frightened people visiting knocked the jail keys from his hand. Prisoner's only hope for freedom lay somewhere down on the ground. But the fire had done its damage by the time that they were found. I don't know just what the prisoners did to be there on that day. No matter what, it seems unfair that they should die that way. The Murray County jail fire still haunts our memory. Was the darkest day recorded in our county's history. 42 died that day in the Murray County jail fire. 33 inmates died that tragic day. Little did the prisoners know that before the day was over, death was the price they all would pay.
Wow.
That was a tragic situation.
This is going to be a great history lesson for me, John. Did 42 died, 33 inmates, so you had 9 trustees or jail workers or also
people
passed
visiting
away?
that day. It was a Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
And people were in the jailhouse visiting relatives that had been incarcerated. And the man that we talked about coaches in one of our segments recently, and this was my coach. Show the football picture first, Philip, if you would. That number 13 there, his name was Monty Baxter. He graduated from Forest High in 1954, and he was what you might say a bruising fullback. He was a big, strong boy. Lived out on River Road in Chapel Hill.
We've been down that one together.
Yeah. That's and sort of a remote type place. He worked hard, and then he went on after Forest High School to Peabody. Went to Peabody. Tom Allen said he knew him back at Peabody. He said he was a sturdy fella.
John, let me ask a quick question. What was the backdrop of that picture? Throw that back up there, Philip.
Okay.
It almost looked like a back end of stadium or something. What is that?
I'm thinking that might be the Presbyterian Church down there.
That's a neat picture.
I always think Chapel Hill campus is sort of interesting. On the left side, you have the United Methodist Church, and over here you have the Presbyterian Church. And then the school kind of
in between you, the school.
All of them have different properties, but that's sort of interesting. But Monty Baxter worked hard to get himself through college. Mr. Earl Barnes, our principal, hired him to come back and coach the 7th and 8th grade team, of which I was an 8th grader at that time. And show the picture of Monty Baxter. There he was as a teacher there at Forest. One thing about Monty that I found out and learned as I went on to know him, that he wasn't sociable. He didn't really want to say any more than he had to say. I remember one time at a basketball game, I watched him, and he was the last one to leave the gym that night. It's almost as if he didn't really want to talk to anybody. He just wanted to be left, after everybody left out of the gym that day.
Would you say he didn't say anything more than he needed to say?
Now, he was a fairly good teacher. He was a pretty good teacher.
I was going to say that first part
social,
of that,
social studies.
Several people have pointed out that me and you could probably adopt some of that.
That's right. But Monty had some mental problems, and he was let go.
Socialization problems.
He was let go from his teaching job after so many years, and then he acted peculiarly after that. Dressing, he shaved his head long before shaved heads were ever popularized. And he.
Don't be too critical of that, John.
Well, I know. It's something that's today it's accepted for. But Monty was occasionally he would be in trouble over there at Lewisburg, over at the courthouse over that area, and people knew about him. But he was the day that he was arrested in Columbia. I'm not sure why he was jailed that day. Maybe it was loitering. Maybe I don't know what it was. But he wouldn't give them his name. They asked, "What's your name?" And he said, "John Doe." He was a big old stout guy. Big. You saw that, how big, brute kind of guy he was, and they arrested him, put him in the Murray County Jail house over there, and then there was a young boy that got arrested. He was from Wisconsin. Zimmer was his last name. Brought into the jailhouse, and he had a history of arson. And I'm not sure why he was down in Tennessee, but he took a match or cigarette lighter or whatever and lit his jail bunk, and it was a toxic type of fume or blackening from that burnt mattress, and went all through. Now he hollered, "Fire, fire, I'm on fire!" So they brought him out. He was the only one that got burned that day. The rest of the damage was done by the smoke inhalation. The jailer, like in the song said, he was trying to go to unlock all the doors, but the people who were visiting
panicked and just probably ran over him.
Panicked, ran over him, and the ring of keys were down on the floor, and nobody he couldn't find them, so he couldn't let them out. And of course, it would have been hard to let everybody out anyway. So Monty Baxter died in that fire along with the other prisoners that day. They laid the folks out on outside the jailhouse on the sidewalk or in the grass or whatever, and laid a sheet on them. They said, this is one person we don't know. And the Marshall County
that was
Fire Department,
John Doe.
They said, we don't know him, and the Marshall County fireman said that is Monty Baxter. It was John Monty Baxter, actually, but he died in that jail fire. Now, the interesting thing, the thing that, you know, you can always think that was bad, very bad. But then you think about what sometime good will come out of things. The sheriff of Murray County is a boy named Bucky Rowland. Bucky Rowland's father was a long-term criminal. He died in that jail fire, and also,
and his son, and one
his
generation
son
later,
now
became
is sheriff.
Became the keeper of the jail.
His mother, his two uncles, his grandmother, and someone else died. He was orphaned. Bucky Rowland was orphaned after the jail fire, and later on ran for sheriff of Murray County and won, and he's sheriff of Murray County.
That is a great story.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
But, you know, you think back to Monty Baxter, he tried hard in life, I think. He had problems, and he couldn't overcome them. Teaching probably wasn't for him. But Monty Baxter was he assumed everybody was going to be an achiever like him, and like so many students today, we didn't help him any. I got to say that when I was in the 8th grade, his being a teacher over 40 kids in a room, 40 children.
If you said he didn't have any social skills, that's a disaster waiting to happen there.
It really was. And that's my story about Monty Baxter, about the Murray County jail fire, and about Bucky Rowland.
Yeah. Well, that's a great story, John, because it started off tragically and then had a real turnaround and a real great ending at the end. That somebody's lost his father, who was a habitual criminal, and then he becomes keeper of the jail. That's a great story of family redemption, really. Well, I hate to bear the news of its time, but we have now wrapped up segment 63. We hope to continue as long as management will allow us to, and we're so appreciative of our time here. Thank you, one and all.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat, with John and Pat, with John and Pat.
I want to invite y'all to come by Clayton's, downtown Tullahoma. We try to serve the community, the area, and we try to help people with their feet and comfortable shoes. We still measure feet. We have a great new arch mat. We have insoles. Please come see us at Clayton's and let me help you find some comfortable shoes for those achy feet.
Service and quality at Clayton's Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
My husband was diagnosed with a spinal infection. He lost his ability to swallow and the movement of his legs.
I couldn't turn over in bed, I couldn't walk, I couldn't eat.
They were just wonderful in the treatment and care they gave my husband.
I regained my mobility where I was able to go home.
It is miraculous.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
STEM is everywhere. Like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that can be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker boards.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at shecanstem.com.
Hi there, this is Terry Stroop, Stroop's Accurate Refrigeration. Summer's about to wind down, fall's right around the corner. It's time to get signed up for your fall maintenance checks, and let's get out and support our local high school football this year. Let's go, Cats.
Gracie and Pedro might not get along so well.
They're standing on my tail.
But there's one thing they agree on. There's a right seat for everyone.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
Whether you're a dog,
Hold on, Pooch.
a cat, a fish, or a rat.
And I'm a ferret.
Be sure to travel safe.
How can you be so sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
On your next adventure, make sure your children are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Hello, we're back.
We're back.
You know what time it is? It's time for Jawing with Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, how are you? We're good.
Good, great.
Here on this fine.
What you doing with that double-breasted jacket on? You going dancing when you leave here?
No telling.
I know you used to cut a pretty good stroke.
Well, I did. I have in my fast time.
Just reach in your pocket and see if that light's on your mic.
I've tried to slow it down a little bit. Well, I didn't. I haven't tried to. No, the light's not on.
Here, let me see that thing.
Sorry about that.
You can talk into my mic. It's right here on my neck.
You ought to have it
Testing
now.
1, 2, testing.
Have it now. Got it. Got it.
What's new
Technical
at your house?
difficulties.
Everything.
Everything's new at your house?
Oh yeah. There's always something new going on every day. I don't know. Right now, I'll tell you what. Right now, I'm really concerned about all these phone calls I keep getting. That I've been getting them for 2 months now. I mean, just on time every day. Seems like every 30 minutes or so. And some of them I blocked over the last 2 months.
Did they want to get a car warranty?
Well, that for a few, and then a funeral policy. I said maybe somebody knows something I don't know. Maybe they've been talking to my doctor or something. I don't know. But bottom line is that I am so sick of the phone. I've been answered about. Well, I didn't answer them. I hung up on them about 3 times this morning already, and one time, in fact, I just picked the phone up and asked her, please don't call her again. You know, and they phoned, these calls are from Taft, Tennessee, from Clarksville, Tennessee. Just give the number, and I mean, it gives the number. Thank God for that little phone I got. It makes it better about not having to answer if when you don't want to, or just make it, blocking them pretty much. So
It's one of the problems that exists in life that's hard to get rid of. That's why I've just taken my house phone out.
I might be considering that before long.
And
I might consider that. I hate to do that.
How many calls do you get on it that are real calls? Your house phone.
The real calls will tell me who's calling. It'll take the name, like my sister, or somebody like that.
Don't they call you on your cell phone?
That's another story. No, I'd rather have them on my home phone, really.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there at the house all day,
when the funeral home calls, just say, I'm not quite dead yet, like Camelot.
Well, some of these people calling, they want to connect you to somebody else. I understand they're trying to make money too, but
they're trying to steal money.
Well, I don't know what they're trying to. I don't know how they're going to get it, but
hey, I saw on the Today Show this morning Keanu Reeves, who is a wonderful actor, and another actor was sitting up there, and they were talking about him selling some product, and he said, "I don't sell anything, and it's AI." And they take his body and put it on there and put words in his mouth, and it's not him selling anything.
Right.
And that's a lie, and it's theft. It's theft of a human's personality.
Well,
I don't see why those people aren't put in jail.
Well, this is all brand new, and there probably will be a lot put before it's over. I can see the market opening up to stuff like this. You can too, and it's getting ready to get bad, really bad. I'm afraid. pray not, but.
Till they're smarter than we are, then they'll do away with us.
There you
Hey.
go.
Yeah, science fiction, science fact. Terminator. What's that movie? The
They all be
Terminator.
sitting right here in our seats, and they'll be talking just like they're us.
Yeah.
And we got a group of people out there that'll turn into AI. And they're gonna believe it.
Well, we ain't gonna worry about that because I probably won't be here then, and none of us probably will.
I think it's all over the place.
Yeah, hopefully they'll put legislation in proper places.
Well, I might have said it last week, but I saw where BMI, Broadcast Music Entertainment, that's a rights group that collects for you. You know, and I'm a BMI writer and I'm a BMI publisher. There was an artist signed for $3.5 million by some record label, and it was an AI artist.
Much music.
Now somebody
is, yeah.
created a fake person with a fake voice and wrote a fake song because they
they're
were
gonna
stealing
make
from everybody
$1 million
else.
for
And this guy got
themselves.
$3.5 million for that person. And they want to keep that person moving forward in the music industry.
Well,
and it's not a person.
That's not the only
It's a
wild
creation.
That's not the only wild story you're going to hear of
No.
in the near future. It's probably be something a lot wilder than that. But we just don't know.
So and everything, most everything on Facebook, you see some star's picture. They don't know anything
Yeah.
about that.
Well, I tell you what.
They don't agree to be in that picture being on there, James Brown uses pomade in his hair. James dead.
He can't speak for himself, can he?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what's really concerning to me, more so than ever, is to go out and look at, like on Facebook even, or anywhere else. I'm not a big Facebook fan. I don't do TikTok. But anyway, I try to stay away from that because I've heard enough about it already to be cautious, and I'm kind of afraid to venture into a lot of these things. I just don't have the time or energy, or I'm late. I'm a late bloomer on this stuff, and I know there are people, kids out there probably making millions of dollars, or I say millions of dollars, making big money. Let's put it like that.
Oh, certainly.
There's a lot of folks making big money just from doing wild, little simple things, that. Oh, hey, there's a demand for it, obviously.
And somebody out there's buying it.
Yeah, but I tell you what really concerns me. I go out online, and if you've got an illness of any type, and you're any concern for your health, and you go out and look, and you see all these claims that are being made about this and that, and this will fix this, and this will fix that, and they got these. Some of them got the stars, the pictures of the famous people out there, like they're advertising it, like this stuff you're talking about, the AI stuff, and like they're advertising it, and you don't know whether they are. A lot of them are not. A lot of them, it's not them doing it, or they are being manipulated. Their faces and voices are being manipulated to make you think this. And I'm just concerned about deceit, period. People lying to you to make $1, and that's what a lot of it is. And
that's all it is.
Well, that's a biblical thing. The love of money is the root of all evil. So it's just natural.
And if you ever get a telephone call from the IRS, it ain't them, because they don't make telephone calls.
Well,
good.
They send letters to you, or they show up at your door.
I'm concerned about the IRS too, but they're not doing neither one for me. And I'm still waiting on my income tax check to come back, and I've called them a couple of times, and I know. Thank God I'm not destitute,
And they owe you money, and
they owe me money. Yeah.
This is from last year, right?
Yeah, this is from last year, last filing. Yeah.
Good grief.
And well, I don't know that it was got stolen somewhere along the chain or process or what. But I have my niece is certified in this, and she had her file it for me, and we've tracked it and tried to track it, and then still haven't got any word from it. Still haven't gotten any word from it. I said, thank God I'm not destitute.
Well, and you think about it, you know, it's out there in cyberspace somewhere.
Yeah, or somebody's guiding it or whatever, you know. I know times are hard and whatever, but you just don't know.
They hard at your house too.
Yeah, they hard everywhere. Yeah, but that's what I'm concerned about. And another thing I'm concerned about, I'd like to do for hopefully somebody in Tullahoma will somebody in authority that has means for doing this will do a seminar or something, a couple of seminars maybe, or something. You know, it's getting ready for the time for registration for
insurance.
No, not your
health care.
Yeah, well, it's health care, elderly health care.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all
that
that
happens
comes
in
up.
what? First of December?
7th of December, I believe, is the last day. It'll be going on probably, you know, in the next month, and so all that. And but Medicare and things like this, and your options. You know, there's usually somebody down at Walmart sometimes, and I think that they're independent. And I talked to somebody down there one time recently, and never did get a follow-up, and still don't know some things I'm trying to find out, and just don't quite understand. If we had somebody that would come in and could have a sit-down class or something, somebody's church or some auditorium.
Let everybody ask their questions.
Yes, and if you've got any questions or if they can help you better, I know they can help me better because I had a plan that gave me better benefits. Last year, I changed because of I ain't gonna say why, but it's because one of our hospitals had a problem with one of the insurance companies, and I didn't quite understand it, but I was advised by someone that knew more than I thought they did, more than I did for sure, but more than maybe perhaps I thought they knew too. I don't know. They didn't know enough, but they got me into a new plan. I got into a new plan, and I've missed out on quite a bit of.
And you don't have as good a plan as you had before.
That's right. It was not. You're right. I've gone this whole year.
So they didn't help you.
It didn't help me at all. In fact, I've been concerned. I guess out of worry, I've had more worry this year than not. You know, than ever before. And I'm just concerned.
Those C plans, you know, where they said, "Oh, we'll give you grocery money and all that stuff." Well, that's well and good, but they don't pay anything. They give you some money, and then maybe
I think you pay for that.
Like I ended up having to pay for my glasses because they wanted to change me over to that, and I thought, well, I guess that'd be all right. We'll see about that. And before it took place, I decided, no, I don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. I want to be able to go into the doctor or the hospital knowing that plan is going to pay this amount of this bill, this amount of this bill. If you get that other plan, when you walk in there, you got to cut a check right then. You know, you don't get to hand them your card.
That's weird. You have
now,
to write a check.
At the end of the day, do you maybe end up with $400 or $500 better off than you were? Yeah, but what kind of trouble do you have to go through to get that done?
I'm not better off than I was last year, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I've missed out on
quite
a bit.
I canceled that Medicare C deal.
Okay.
Because they didn't cover my glasses.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I think we need somebody that could explain this better than us. People in Tullahoma deserve better than that. I know they do. We do. We deserve better than that. All of us do. And as we get older and have to depend on somebody from outside to come in and tell us something that may or may not be true, you know,
It's aggravating.
But the thing about it is, Jackie, is if you go with that kind of a plan, if you got plenty of money, that's fine.
Yeah. If you got plenty of money, I don't even worry about it.
You might end up saving a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But if you're a person who doesn't budget money well, you need that card in your hand that's already been paid for. You know, you don't get to see that money. They pull it out of your money.
Yeah.
You know, and then that way, when you throw that card down there, you go, here, I go, here you go, here's my 2 cards. If I don't get it, you ain't getting it.
Right.
Well, I know
Period.
I know I've lost money on this plan that I'm on.
Yeah.
I know I've lost money.
On another note, have you written something special lately?
I'm working on something really, really super about life itself.
Good.
Because, you know, when you stop and think about this life, you know, this time we're here, a lot of people say, yeah, well, you know, and it's an everyday thing. A lot of people just, I don't know, they don't understand what this life about. I said, you know, what life is about. I said, you know, when you think about it, we got kicked out of heaven, got kicked down to here to try to straighten things out and get your mind worked out and well, I ain't gonna go into all that, but
Kicked out of favor.
we're in a realm of time, and waiting to get back to eternity, and that's something really deep that it just been touching me, you know, with that from time
Closer
to eternity, from eternity to time, then from time back to eternity. And well, the closer you get, you start thinking more about that. You know, the closer time is running out, and sure enough, time is running out for all of us. It's just a matter of time. You know,
it's not. Time's not running out. Space is running out.
Well, that's true.
You're just gonna go from one space to another. Time will still exist.
Well, we ain't just gonna go from one space to another. Yeah, you're right. But the space that you go to is what's concerning. You know, a lot of folks don't understand that. You know, if you don't get it right and go to the right place, you're in trouble forever and ever and ever and ever. That's what eternity is all about. That's right. Now just turn to this. It says, time, your greatest enemy. I'll read this right quick. It says, we all start out so very young. This is from my book, Living on Purpose, The Poetry of Life. It says, that time is your greatest enemy. It says, we all start out so very young with oh so much to learn, traveling down life's winding road so full of deadly turns. We often fight each other, competing for the top, and lose so much in battles that never should be fought. And if we are not careful, quite late in life we find that somehow time slipped away and dreams got left behind. Then when health begins to fail and years become unkind, we fight. We find our fight was not with man, the enemy was time. Life for most is like a race. We never lose or win. We wind up being content with dreams of things that might have been. But just maybe, if we're lucky, we learn what life's about. And if we're in a rat race, it's time that we get out. So as the years grow shorter, we must speed up the pace, put all your trust in God, and step out on blind faith. Always know deep in your heart, your joy depends on you. And the key to your true happiness is you making your dreams come true.